Hello, I'm Kip Walby, your mayor. Thank you for tuning in to another installment of my COVID-19 weekly update, where I will let you know what's happening in our city during this extraordinary time in our history and address some of the concerns of our residents. Overall, the number of cases of the coronavirus in Michigan seems to be decreasing, with Macomb County accounting for only 14% of the total in Michigan. However, the number of cases in St. Clair Shores saw a 156% increase in the last 2 weeks. Although this dramatic rise in residents testing positive for the coronavirus is partially due to the increase in testing for the virus, it is still proof that we need to continue our efforts. The Center for Disease Control tells us that there is currently no vaccine to prevent the coronavirus. The best way to prevent illness is to avoid being exposed in the first place. Experts think that the virus is spread mainly from person to person and between people who are in close contact with one another. That's where the term social distancing came from in the first place. Staying within about 6 feet from others is the benchmark for prevention. When an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks, small respiratory droplets can land in the mouth, nose, lungs of another person, or even on an object nearby that infected another person. Some recent studies have suggested that COVID-19 may be spread by people who are not showing symptoms. The governor's April 24th, 2020 executive order states that people are now required to wear face coverings in enclosed public spaces such as grocery stores. But please do not use a face mask that is meant for healthcare workers. Currently, most hospitals are still in dire need of personal protection equipment such as face masks. You can make your own. Just check out the many how-to sites on the internet. I understand from talking to many residents that going to the grocery store is also causing many residents anxiety. I came across an article this week that has some great tips for safe grocery shopping that I want to share with you. Evaluate your risk before visiting the store. If you have an existing health problem, such as diabetes, cancer, COPD, or over the age of 65, you may want to consider other options, such as buying online or having someone else shop for you. Plan your shopping list in advance. Organize your list by aisle or by group of items to help you get in and out of the store faster. Try to purchase 2 weeks' worth of groceries to decrease the number of trips to the store if possible. Shop alone. This will help limit your time in the store. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others while shopping in the lines. Also, when out in public, cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face covering. Wipe the shopping cart down with a sanitizing cloth. And if you don't have access to disinfectant wipes, wear a pair of latex gloves or other use gloves while you shop and discard them when you leave. Limit touching. Grab items from the back of the shelf as they have not been handled as much. Try not to sort through produce with your bare hands. Instead, use a glove or stick your hand inside a fresh, store-supplied bag and use the outside like a glove to pick up and inspect the produce you want. Use a non-contact payment method. Use Apple Pay or Google Pay. If possible, avoid signing the touch screen or enter your PIN code on areas that others touch daily. Wash your hands immediately after visiting the store. After leaving the store, use hand sanitizer. When you get home, wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Sanitize your car when you get home. Germs and viruses can follow you into the car. The simplest way to attack COVID-19, according to the experts, is with soap and water. Do not use bleach or hydrogen peroxide on the inside of your car, as they will likely damage your car's upholstery. And do not use ammonia-based cleaners on car touch screens, as they can damage the anti-glare and anti-fingerprint coatings. And lastly, take your shoes off when you get home. Droplets containing the virus can fall to the ground and be picked up by your feet. The CDC also recommends disinfecting frequently touched surfaces daily. This will include objects that we may not think of as being contaminated, such as doorknobs, light switches, telephones, iPads, and other electronic devices, keyboards, faucet handles. In fact, I was pumping gas this week and suddenly I stopped and thought, how many people have used this pump handle before me? And how many of them could have been sick? Realistically, I can't sanitize every gas pump I use, but I could wear gloves to eliminate the possibility of contamination. These may sound like common sense tips, but many of us forget to do them when faced with the pandemic. Do whatever you need to do, no matter how silly or far-fetched it may be, to avoid getting the coronavirus in the first place. On April 22nd, Governor Whitmer issued an executive order that paved the way for first responders, healthcare workers, and people working in essential services to be tested for the coronavirus, even if they are not showing symptoms. The closest testing site to St. Clair Shores are Ascension Macomb, Oakland, Warren Campus at 11800 12 Mile, and the McLaren Macomb at 1000 Harrington Street in Mount Clemens. If you need more information about COVID-19, visit the CDC website at the address you see on your screen. The site covers information on how to protect yourself and lots of tips for coping with the crisis. Now I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about the latest action by the city and address a couple of resident concerns. In a continuing effort to follow Governor Whitmer's executive order prohibiting large events and mass gatherings that can contribute to the spread of the coronavirus, the city has postponed or canceled many events and activities for this May. The city temporarily postponed the Kiwanis Bike Fest, Adaptive Recreation Softball, the Friends of the Library Spring Book Sale, the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Blossom Heath Beach House, the Nautical Mile Cleanup, and the opening day for the city pool in Lac St. Clair Park, and the Splash Zone in Veterans Memorial Park. Again, these are postponed. We will post new dates on our website, SCS TV, and other social media as soon as it becomes known. So far, the Waterfront Environmental Committee canceled the I-94 Expressway cleanup in May. The city also canceled the Farmers Market, flowers, and food trucks in Blossom Heath Park, the St. Clair Shores Baseball Association opening day at Kiteman Row, and with great sadness, the Memorial Day Parade has been canceled. And at this point, there are no plans to reschedule these events for 2020. And I would like to just make a comment regarding the Memorial Day Parade. It is the signature event in St. Clair Shores. And I know the individuals on that committee work, my gosh, they must start in January and February to get this thing going and make it just such a wonderful event. I want to thank them for all of their hard work that they have done up to this point. It would have been the 68th parade. I'm not aware of the parade ever being canceled before. Of course, these are times that are unprecedented, and really we had no option but to cancel that parade. And again, I just want to thank the St. Clair Shores Memorial Day Committee for all the work they do throughout the year to make this the best parade in the country. The 2020 special needs and summer programs are also canceled as well. But watch for news about a virtual day camp for kids coming soon, offered by the Parks and Recreation Department. So that should be exciting. All city parks and pavilion rentals are also subject to the governor's executive order on social distancing. The city will continue to evaluate events and activities such as the annual fireworks extravaganza and the Music on the Lake concert series, depending on the governor's executive orders. Our primary goal is to protect the health and safety of our citizens, but we want to keep events if we can. And the only way to accomplish this goal is to go slow in canceling the events. And I know other communities have moved much quicker and have canceled into June. We here in St. Clair Shores are moving a little slower and seeing how things progress. So updates will be coming. I'm happy to report that under Governor Whitmer's latest executive order, landscapers, lawn service companies, plant nurseries, and bike repair shops can now open their doors to the public. Stores selling non-essential supplies can reopen for curbside pickup and delivery. Big box retailers no longer need to close off garden centers and areas that sell paint, flooring, and carpeting. There's good news for golfers and boaters too. The April 24th order lifted restrictions on golf courses and motorized boating during the COVID outbreak. The St. Clair Shores Golf Course will open the week of April 27th. Following the order, no carts will be available. Please call 586-294-2000 to check on opening days and times. The order also allows motorized boating. Call the Parks and Recreation Department at 586-445-5350 to check on an opening date and time for Loch St. Clair ramp behind City Hall, the Blossom Heath Park ramp, and the 9 Mile boat ramp behind the Chapaton pump station. Remember that social distancing is still necessary for all outdoor activities. Finally, thank you to our employees who continue to do a great job in our fine city. The Fire Department, Police Department, the DPW, Parks and Rec, and essential employees inside City Hall who keep the train on the tracks. We are blessed with this dedicated staff. Continue to pray and ask God to keep that hedge around our staff so that they can stay healthy. On a positive note, many thanks to all residents who participated in various birthday and anniversary celebrations around the city by driving or walking past homes where someone is celebrating and beeping their horns, showing birthday signs or shouting greetings to kids and adults who are staying home as ordered. What a beautiful and uplifting way to show community support. And as always, I'd like to end my update with words of encouragement. It says in John chapter 1, verse 27, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." Goodbye for now. Stay safe, stay home, and God bless you.